Belarus, a landlocked country in Eastern Europe, is a fascinating blend of history, culture, and economic trends, and its housing market provides a unique lens through which to understand both. The capital city, Minsk, serves as the epicenter of the country's property market, with the average cost of a new apartment sitting around $1,960 per square meter as of 2025. Older Soviet-era apartments in the city center often exceed $2,200 per square meter, while suburban districts allow slightly lower prices, often between $1,500 and $1,700 per square meter. For the majority Belarusian population, who comprise about 84.9% of the total populace, city apartments are appealing due to their proximity to workplaces, schools, and cultural amenities. Despite the high costs, many Belarusian families are willing to invest in central districts, often balancing the expense with the advantages of urban living. Detached houses on the outskirts, ranging from $120,000 to $250,000 depending on size and location, are also popular, particularly for families seeking more space, private gardens, and a quieter environment. The Russian community, making up around 7.5% of Belarus's population, tends to concentrate in urban centers like Minsk, Gomel, and Vitebsk, where cultural institutions and social networks are more established. Housing in these areas is often priced slightly above the city average, with modern 2- and 3-bedroom apartments ranging from $2,000 to $2,300 per square meter in highly desirable districts. Many Russians, particularly those who moved during the Soviet era, have historically preferred apartments that are centrally located to maintain access to work, schools, and business opportunities. In recent years, foreign Russian buyers have shown increased interest in Minsk properties, purchasing apartments both as investment properties and as permanent residences. Rental demand in these areas is strong, which supports higher property valuations and makes city center apartments particularly attractive. The Polish minority, which constitutes about 3.1% of Belarus's population, is mostly located in the western regions of the country, including Brest and Rodno. Housing in these areas is generally more affordable than in Minsk. Apartments in Rodno average between $1,200 and $1,500 per square meter, while older Soviet-era apartments in Brest may go for $1,000 to $1,300 per square meter. Detached houses in the outskirts or semi-rural areas of these towns typically cost between $80,000 and $150,000. Often with small gardens or plots of land, reflecting the Polish community's preference for semi-rural living combined with convenient access to urban centers. These areas are appealing for Polish families looking for larger living spaces at lower prices, and the demand is steadily increasing as younger families seek more comfortable homes while maintaining access to local schools and employment. Ukrainians, representing approximately 1.7% of the Belarusian population, often settle in southern towns such as Gomel, Mozyr, and Rikitsa, where property prices are lower than in the capital yet still offer access to essential urban amenities. In these mid-sized towns, apartments generally range from $900 to $1,400 per square meter, making them highly attractive for middle-income families. Detached homes in suburban or nearby rural areas often cost between $60,000 and $120,000, depending on the size and proximity to the town center. Many Ukrainians are drawn to these locations because they combine affordability with employment opportunities in local industry or agriculture, and rental demand in these towns has grown as younger workers and families move in. Affordable housing combined with a community network has made these towns increasingly popular among Ukrainian migrants seeking long-term settlement. The Jewish community, which has a significantly smaller presence today than before World War II, is historically concentrated in Minsk and Brest. Housing for Jewish families, particularly in the city, tends to be focused on established neighborhoods that offer good access to schools, synagogues, and community centers. New apartments in these districts average $1,800 to $2,000 per square meter, while older properties may cost $1,500. Investment in real estate has become common, with many families purchasing apartments as rental properties, generating steady income from the city's growing rental market. The preference for central locations is also linked to maintaining cultural connections and participating in community life, which is especially important in a city where the Jewish population is small but active. The Roma, comprising roughly 0.1% of the population, primarily reside in rural or semi-rural regions, where housing is significantly more affordable. Detached homes in these areas can often be purchased for $40,000 to $80,000, depending on condition and proximity to the nearest town. Roma families frequently invest in renovations to improve living conditions, while others rent smaller apartments in nearby towns to access schools and employment opportunities. The affordability of rural homes allows larger families to live together comfortably, which is essential for the Roma community's cultural and social structure. Despite the lower prices, housing quality and access to utilities vary greatly, making strategic location choices vital for families seeking better opportunities while preserving their way of life. Belarus's housing market is influenced by more than just ethnic settlement patterns. Economic trends, urbanization, and government policies also play a major role. In Minsk, for example, ongoing construction of modern high-rise apartments with amenities such as parking, security, and energy-efficient designs is driving property prices upward, while older Soviet-era apartments remain more affordable for middle-class families. Suburban and rural housing, including detached homes with gardens, continues to attract buyers seeking a balance between cost, space, and quality of life. Across all ethnic groups, there is a clear pattern. City center apartments are prized for convenience and access, suburban homes are valued for space and lifestyle, and rural properties are purchased primarily for affordability and family living. Regional differences are striking. In Minsk, high-demand districts such as the city center or areas near major universities and business centers often see prices above $2,200 per square meter, whereas peripheral districts may drop to around $1,500 per square meter. In Rodna, prices for new apartments range from $1,200 to $1,500 per square meter, while older apartments can go for $1,000 to $1,300 per square meter. In Brest, Mosier, and other southern towns, apartments typically cost $900 to $1,400 per square meter, and suburban houses can be purchased for $60,000 to $120,000. Detached homes with land are particularly sought after in these regions, as they provide space, privacy, and the possibility of small-scale farming or gardening, which remains a cultural tradition for many Belarusian families. Investment potential is also a driving factor for housing trends. Russian buyers, in particular, are increasingly purchasing apartments in Minsk for rental income, taking advantage of high demand in central districts. Domestic investors, including Belarusians, Poles, and Ukrainians, often target mid-sized towns for more affordable properties, expecting growth in rental demand as population movement continues from rural areas to towns and cities. Detached homes in suburban areas are highly desirable for families looking to combine urban access with a quieter lifestyle, often selling at higher prices during economic growth periods. The balance between affordability and lifestyle is crucial for all ethnic groups. Belarusians prioritize city apartments for work and social networks but increasingly consider suburban homes for family life. Russians and foreign buyers focus on central districts with high rental demand. Polish families favor semi-rural homes in western towns, combining space with cultural proximity. Ukrainians concentrate in southern towns where affordability meets employment opportunities, and Roma communities emphasize rural affordability to accommodate large family units. Across all these groups, the housing market not only reflects economic realities but also cultural priorities and social networks, making it a dynamic and continuously evolving landscape. Belarus's government has implemented policies to support regional development and affordable housing, particularly outside the capital. Incentives for new construction in smaller towns have encouraged development in areas where the average apartment price is significantly lower than in Minsk. Energy-efficient building programs and urban planning improvements have increased property values, while also offering long-term savings for homeowners. These policies have encouraged both domestic and foreign buyers to consider investments beyond the capital, balancing growth with cost-effectiveness. Ultimately, Belarus's housing market offers a complex and layered picture that intersects with ethnicity, history, culture, and economics. Prices range from as low as $900 per square meter in smaller towns to over $2,200 per square meter in high-demand districts of Minsk, providing opportunities for a wide range of buyers. Apartments, townhouses, and detached homes each serve different community needs, reflecting settlement patterns and lifestyle preferences. From the bustling capital to the serene towns in the west and south, Belarusian housing continues to evolve, driven by demographic trends, investment patterns, and cultural priorities, offering insights into the broader social and economic fabric of the country.